Hello, this is my tutorial for part 2 of assignment 1. So yeah, let's get started. So firstly, these are our tools that we used. We used mainly end mills, except for a slot here that we'll get to eventually. So we have a 25mm one, a 10mm, 6mm, and a 15mm slot, and also a 24mm diameter slit cutting tool with a 5mm cutting length, as you can see here. So let's get this there. So firstly, what we have here is our first operation. Let's just simulate toolpath. So that will be, it will just cut around this first level of the solid cut. So let me just show you what we did. So firstly, what we have here is the working geometry, and I'll show you. So we'll only be working around this edge here and the edge there. And this tool that we selected was the 25mm end mill tool, and the levels that we have was obviously 0 from the top and only 20 in order to only cut to the level of the second level of the object. And yeah, that will be it. Exit that, and I'll solid verify to show you what we have. So this will be us starting, and this will be what we end up with. Oh, yeah. So that will be what we end up with, and here's the rest of the material. This is after the cut, and this would be before the cut. So there we go. Now we move on to the next one. I'll show you the toolpath for that. So this will be just the to make sure that we have the second level, the second boss extruded out, and to cut to the level of the this part here. So I'll just show you that in more detail. So we have the working area would obviously be just between here and here, since that's all we need to change. And the tool that we used will be the same as before, 25mm, and the levels will be 20 from there and 30 to there. That will be it. I'll solid verify to just show you that in more detail. Let's just speed it up a little bit. This is what we end up with, and here will be our rest of the materials that we have. This is what we have after the cut, and this is what we had before. Finally, for this part, this will be for the hole cut in the middle, and very similar from the other operation. The only difference will be, I believe it was a small tool, or it was the same tool actually, so there's no difference. All the difference was just the levels and also the working area. So I'll show you right here. It will just be around here. So there we go, that was it. And we'll just simulate that and show you. That will be it. There we go. And finally, also for everything else, this will be our object after the cut. Now for the drilling portion of this exercise, just added that to show exactly what we did. So I'll show you the working area. So we just had to select our drill bits here. And yeah, that was basically it. We select our 10mm cutting tool, since that was the cut of the, that was the dimension, sorry, on the drawing that was specified. The drill depth of 49, and we just left it automatic for that level. And that will be all, and we'll just simulate that to show you. As you can see here, that will end up with, and here's what we would have after the cut. Finally, the next drill bit, it was the exact same. The only thing that was different was just the tool size and obviously the geometry of it. So I'll show you what we selected. We selected all of these, and yeah, everything else was exactly. The depth of cut obviously changed. I'll just simulate to show you how that will work. Here we have the cut after, and I'll show you the simulation for the cut itself. There we go, that will be the toolpath, and that's it. And finally, we also have a bit of profiling to do. There was excess material there and there, so this will be for the outermost profile. So let's just show you real quick what we have. So this is the profile cut, this is the geometry that we chose, and the tool we used was always 25mm to make it quicker on ourselves, and the profile depth will be 49, which is the depth of the entire object. So let's just simulate that. That was it. And next here we also have another profile cut. This was for this part here, and I'll show you why we needed it. So the exact same for everything, and anything that changed was just the geometry, and that was all. So we'll simulate that. I'll first show you why we need it. So in the rest of the materials, so before the operation we had some excess here, caused by a lack of offset in the initial cut, and after the cut that was all gone. So that's why we needed that. And finally, we needed to make the slot on that side, so that's why we had the slot tool in our tool table, the slot mill, sorry. And here is the geometry that we use. So we'll just select here, and the tool being 5mm, it would cut from that side, from that level, sorry, and then the ceiling of it would be this top part here. Here's the level ceiling of -37, which is over here, and the depth of the cut will be 5mm. Let me simulate that for you to show you what that would look like. So here's the initial tool here, the object we had before the cut, and here it is after the cut. And as you can see here, the rest of the material before, there was still material here, and after the cut, this is what we end up with. Okay, so that was it in this position. So I'll show you what we have in another position here. So if you go into the Coordinate System Manager, we add another position in order to be able to work on these holes here and the one in the middle as well, because it's wider at the bottom here than it is at the top, and so therefore we need to drill from the bottom, and we can't do that from the top. So I'll show you how to do that. So firstly, you go into Geometry and you select position 2 instead of 1. And then you select the geometry that you want. So for this was just for the drilling. So we just select all these 4. And similar to the other drills, we select a different tool than the usual one. Instead of 25, we use 15, since that was the measurement according to the drawings. And the levels would obviously be 0, since we're starting from the top, and the drill depth was only 4mm according to the drawings. So let me just simulate that. Oh, sorry, let me do that again so you can see the better. There we go. So that's what we'd end up with. And here is the slab before, and this is after the cut. So as you can see, no leftover material that we don't need. And finally, we have the hole in the middle there. And we use position 2 again. It's to work from that face. And I'll show you the working area that we have. So we selected only this hole, since this is the only area that we'll be working on. And we select the 25mm cutting tool in order to make our life easier and to make it more efficient and quicker of an operation. And the depth of -14 from this coordinate system. So down here will be -14, starting from the 0 position. And let me just simulate that to show you what we did. As you can see, that was 3 steps in order to achieve that cut. And finally, this will be our material before, and this will be after the cut. So there we go. There was no rest material left, and that was all. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.